Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela, and I'm a philanthropist. To start, I want to take you back to the story of Canada's first community foundation, the Winnipeg Foundation. It began in 1921 with the generosity of a successful banker named William Forbes Alloway. Alloway gave a gift of $100,000, a staggering sum back then, to establish a foundation that would give back to his community forever. So the foundation is started, the story spreads, some newspapers cover it, there's some excitement, and then the excitement dies down, and the foundation waits 3 long years for its second gift. That gift is nothing like the first. It shows them a plain white envelope, simply marked the widow's mite. The package contains 3 gold coins worth only $5 each. We know nothing about the woman who made this contribution or what prompted her to slip $15 into that plain white envelope. But her decision to make that gift had a remarkable impact. With 3 gold coins, the idea that everyone can be a philanthropist was realized, and that idea has been the grounding of Canadian community foundations ever since. Every gift of time, treasure, and talent matters. Often when we think of philanthropists, we think of the likes of Buffett and Gates, and locally the Fountains and the McCains. And in our experience, rarely do the thousands of Nova Scotians who work to create vital communities recognize their contribution or the immense impact of their collective action. Aristotle asserted, "To give away money is an easy matter. It's in any man's power. But to decide to whom to give it and how large and when, and for what purpose and how, is neither in every man's power nor an easy matter." It's in any person's power to give away money. I agree. To give money, time, and talent is in any person's power, but smart philanthropy is a different matter. To have meaningful impact is a different matter. So let me tell you about one way it's being done here in Nova Scotia. The Community Foundation of Nova Scotia supports a network of community funds. These mechanisms for investment are designed to capture charitable gifts, large investments and small investments from local people who understand the power of pooling resources for local impact. Through these funds, everyone can contribute to a legacy for their community, and through these funds, local action and leadership is mobilized. After all, local community members know their communities best. I'll share 2 examples. First, the Yarmouth Area Community Fund. This fund grows year over year with contributions of $20, $200, $2,000. As the fund grows, so does its impact. And each year, the local fund leadership team asks community, how can we help? And then grants to charitable initiatives that often reach people most affected by inequality through the work of local charities. Second example, the Citizen Network supporting the Lunenburg County Community Fund takes a different approach. Their understanding of the underpinnings of social challenges in rural communities led them to focus on economic development and to leverage philanthropic investment to chip away at the root of problems. This year, Lunenburg citizens pooled their resources in an innovative experiment designed to turn the tide on the trend of decreasing population. With no population base, there's no tax base, no resources for schools, for hospitals, all of those things that are essential to vital communities. Working with the CFNS, the Lunenburg team hired a population growth coordinator and sent her off on a cross-country tour, trailer in tow, to promote Lunenburg County as a place to work and live. She arrived home with over 300 follow-up contacts from people interested in everything that Lunenburg has to offer, and importantly, a strong idea of what it might take to keep people in a community in the first place. These 2 examples have at least 2 things in common. First, local people realize the role that philanthropy can play in creating stronger, more vibrant communities. And second, that the mobilization of philanthropy is a locally directed opportunity for communities to take control of their own destiny. But something is very different about them, and that brings me to the question of impact. In Yarmouth, the local leadership directs grants to address the outcomes of a system where not everyone is a winner. You could say that through supporting local charities, they are helping individuals realize their possibilities. The impact is more on the individual. In Lunenburg, the focus is different. The team sees the symptoms of inequality as well. Outcomes exasperated by the declining population, but they're choosing another intervention, one that aspires to a reversal of a trend so common in our rural communities. The impact might not be experienced by individuals in Lunenburg today, but there is the possibility that fewer will experience inequality in the future. Is either the better way? What would Aristotle say? Should we focus on shaking things up or addressing the symptoms of inequality that seem to continue to gain a foothold across Canada? That's the question we think about, and that's the question that our donors, people like all of you, think about when the conversation turns to impact and legacy. The answer may well be that both are the right approach. While systems change has been the mission of many philanthropic initiatives, is it not just as important to not lose sight of the people who are suffering today? The use of crowdfunding platforms to directly reach people in need is rapidly increasing. There is increasing demand for the ways and means to support just one person, just one family, just one group. Or maybe it's just that technology is finally enabling unmet philanthropic demand. In the Walrus magazine earlier this year, Andrew Trinanal, the CEO of Community Foundations of Canada, asked the question, is Canadian philanthropy ready for the future? Philanthropy has always responded to societal changes, and now as we face the possibility of self-driving cars, virtual reality, and automated investing, all in a time of rapid demographic change, how will we respond? Our philanthropic institutions must be ready to adapt, innovate as we've seen in other industries. Our local communities need to adapt. Local investment decisions need to adapt, and we need to continue to capture the catalytic power of philanthropy and the power of local decision-making in a globalized world. How will we ensure smart and strategic philanthropy throughout Nova Scotia, across Canada, and globally in a time of disruption? That's the question I leave you with. Thank you.